So,
Thank you for taking this very great presentation. I'm going to introduce you to someone that is very, very knowledgeable about the very, very top of the company. And she will be presenting us tonight, Miss Verdita Mack.
well, thank you, Betty and Romelda, for putting this call together. I appreciate you all, catching the vision of what we're doing here. This is very, very important. It's going to be changing people's lives, and you're going to be beacons in our community for what you're about to do. You have no idea of what is about to happen. And so thank you all so much for doing that. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up a presentation, everyone, so we can stay on track. But before I do that, let me kind of tell you why I feel qualified to share this information with you. About 2.5 years ago, a friend of ours reached out to us and told us he had something very important we needed to hear about. And he met us. We were about to go out of town. And when he met my husband, he gave him a few of these tiny little patches that you see right here, about the size of a quarter, then like a Band-Aid. And he gave them to my husband, and my husband came home and we said, what are we going to do with those? And he said, I don't know. He just told us to put them on, and try them and see how they work. And he also, that same night, he got us on a call just like the one you're on. And we heard some profound things. We heard some awesome testimonies of things that had happened to people. We heard some very exciting information about some technology that I just never heard anything like that before. And it got our attention. But once again, we thought, well, that doesn't apply to us because we're pretty healthy. We don't take medicine. We're not in any kind of pain. That doesn't apply to us. So we had to catch a flight the next morning to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where my in-laws live. And the first thing we noticed when we walked in the door was my 92-year-old mother. At the time, she was 92. She was rubbing her knee profusely. She was in excruciating pain. I never, ever seen her in pain. I never seen her sick. But this pain was so bad, and she didn't want to have surgery. And so we said, well, why don't we just try this patch on her and see how it works? So we put the patch on her, and it was nighttime when we got there. So we put her to bed. And the next morning she woke up and said, I don't have any more pain. I didn't get up in the middle of the night like I normally am, rubbing ointments on it. And we said, oh, okay, this thing might work. So that night we said, okay, we're going to try the patch. So my husband and I both put the patch on that night. And that particular night, this is what happened. My husband used to have a chronic sleeping disorder. He would snore, choke, cough all night long for 10 years. It was very loud and very disturbing, and to say the least. And that night he didn't snore. And that's been almost 3 years ago. November will be 3 years ago that he has not snored in his sleep. And so that got our attention that very first time. But we had also heard some testimonies like what you're going to hear tonight. And that let us know that there's so many people that need this because the kind of things that it's doing for people. So we decided we had to be ambassadors. We had to tell everybody we knew about it. And it has really blessed us in several ways, not only with our health perfect, results on our physicals and everything, but not only that, it has helped us financially because both of us were strong, 6-figure income earners. And because of this opportunity we're going to tell you about, we really are in a position where we do not have to do our other businesses. So it has blessed us, and we're helping a lot of other people as well. So thank you for inviting me to the call. If you don't mind, stop your video, and we're going to pull up this PowerPoint. Okay, so listen. What we're going to be talking about is a product that's way ahead of its time, the X39. And as you can see on these beautiful ladies right here, this is a technology which is in the form of a patch. You can put it anywhere on your body that you want to. They're just putting in their arm, but you can literally put it anywhere. And why are we talking about X39? Because we're talking about the industry of stem cell technology. You see, by the age of 30, half of the stem cells in our body go inactive. And by the time we're 60, over 90% are inactive. This is so significant because the stem cells in our bodies, they make up the tissues and the organs that help our bodies to repair themselves. They're the body's intended repair system. And so the less active stem cells we have, the slower we're going to heal, and the more we feel the effects of aging. Millions of people are experiencing the effects of aging. And so we're here to show you how to combat that. Now, I can't move my screen. Sorry about that. Screen is stuck. Now, how does this work? It's very simple. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Look at it this way. When you go out into the sun, what do they tell you? That the vitamin D in your body is going to be elevated, right? And that's because the sun is the light, it's the source of that. So, but you don't need the sun and the heat of the sun to use this patch. What's going to happen? The heat and light of your body, when you put the patch on, it's going to reflect off of the nanocrystals that are in the center of this patch. They're so tiny you can't even see them. But the light of your body is going to reflect off of those crystals. And what's going to happen is going to elevate the copper peptides in your body, which in turn reactivate all those dormant stem cells. It's going to take some time, but things are going to start happening. Non-transdermal, meaning nothing is going to penetrate in your body. No drugs or chemicals are in this patch, nothing. It's non-invasive, and this is why doctors like it. This is why professional athletes like it, because, you know, professional athletes or even elite athletes are prohibited from wearing anything that is going to enhance their performance when they're competing. But even the women's Olympic swim team from Stanford University wore this when they were performing in the Olympics. So you know this must be so, what we were saying about no drugs or chemicals, it must be true. But again, it's non-invasive. Now, you're looking at a brilliant person, David Schmidt. He is a scientist and inventor of the X39. You see, for years, billions of dollars have been spent on stem cell research by doctors and scientists for years. They have been trying to do something. They've been trying to come up with a way to reactivate the stem cells in our body in a natural way. What they normally are doing is injecting stem cells from embryos and umbilical cords into people, costing thousands of dollars. And that is not very attractive because most people can't afford it. You're talking about $5,000 to $25,000 an injection. You're talking about something that's localized, going to one area of your body, whereas this tiny patch goes all over your body. It is systemic. It's anywhere. If you put it on, it could help your heart. It could help your knee, all at the same time. And so this is why this is so amazing. Well, David cracked the code. He found the solution to what they've been researching for years. And in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. Now, it took him and all of his scientists and doctors 10 years and $4.5 million to bring this to market, and it is patented. See, you can't patent something if it's not proven. In those 80 case studies, they prove that this technology works. It says right here in the patent, it produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. So you can't say that in a patent unless it's true. And this screams opportunity. But listen, there are many, many benefits of this product. You can't, it's just too numerous to mention on this call, but here are a few that people experience every day. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, energy and vitality, increased stamina, mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, improved skin appearance. I already told you about how it helped us with sleep. And I'm going to share with you in a moment how it has really improved people's skin appearance when they had some very significant issues. As people get older, you start seeing them kind of getting shorter and kind of bending over because their skeletal conditions are depleting. And you also, as people get older, you see them forgetting things, beginning to get dementia and Alzheimer's. These are some of the things that you're going to see improving as you wear this patch. Now, right now, you're looking at a map. It's called a photography map or a brain scan. They took a 77-year-old woman and looked at her brain. And what did they find? They found inflammation in her brain, lack of brain coherence, probably something like a dementia. And this red orange area represents the inflammation. Well, 3 weeks after being on the X39, they looked at her brain again, and there was no more inflammation and better brain coherence. And then they went on 3 more weeks later, and in session 3, which is a total of 6 weeks later, there was a complete turnaround and better brain coherence. So she came in there with a hyperactive brain, and it was calmed down after 6 weeks. Now, look, these are the results in those case studies that we were talking about earlier. In the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Many people say, well, I don't feel anything. Well, remember, the case studies proved it. In the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. You may not feel your hair growing, but it's growing. You may not feel, your fingernails growing, but they are growing. Things are happening whether you feel them or not. And in this case, your genes are being reset. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, like the woman we just shared with you. What about people that have PTSD? Those are conditions that are reflective of someone's brain being in balance. We know children that are autistic that have had a complete turnaround as a result of this patch. And those kinds of things will happen within 6 weeks. Within 3 months, your collagen is improved. Your hair, your nails, collagen holds your bones and your tissues together in your muscular system together in your body. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. That is significant. It is said that for every 6 months that you wear this patch, your heart is going to reverse by 8 years. I have a friend that had a stroke about 5 years ago as a result of having diabetes, and he had to take 5 insulin shots per day. Well, when he had that stroke, they had to put a pacemaker and defibrillator in his heart. And they told him he had to see the cardiologist every 6 weeks. But when his friend came by in November of 2022 and gave him some of these patches the very first day, he didn't have to have 5 insulin shots. He only needed 1. By day 3, he had no more insulin shots because his body didn't require it. But when he went to the cardiologist 6 weeks later, the cardiologist says, your heart is no longer relying on this pacemaker. What are you doing? But what does that let you know? The stem cells that are reactivated in your body, they go where they're needed. In this case, it was needed in an area of his heart. So this is not anti-aging, you guys. This is age reversing, and we're going to get younger and younger and younger as long as we continue to wear this patch. Now, how are you going to wear it? Anywhere you want to wear it, 12 hours a day, 12 hours on and 12 hours off. And then just throw it away. Why? Because you're going to get 30 patches in this beautiful packaging, 30. So you can just put it on and throw it off and throw it away and use another one the next day. You must drink plenty of water because you need your body to be hydrated, and it allows the toxins to be pushed out of your body when you're hydrated. But in this diagram, they're showing it below the belly button or behind the neck, only because those are the 2 locations they used when they did the case studies. Now, I could go on and on, with all this technical stuff, but I know what you want to hear. You want to hear, how is this working for other people? So what I want to do right now is I want to stop my video, and I want to invite a guest on. Her name is Gwen Millsap. She's out of the Fayetteville, North Carolina area. Gwen, please come on and bless these people and tell them not only what this patch has done for you, but maybe someone else around you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Bernita, for inviting me. Let me get myself together here. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay. All right. I was riding home from a meeting, and of course, when we have to do something, we're going to do it. But anyway, I just would like to say a good evening to everyone and give
Can you
you
keep your phone, keep your phone still, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I got it still now.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna give you a brief testimony. I had neuropathy for 48 years, where I had my last child, and I had sciatic nerve damage in my back. And for 48 years, I was in excruciating pain. I could only sleep a minimum, walk a minimum. I couldn't do anything. And I was masking that with ibuprofen. And so on December the 29th, about 14 months ago, the 9th, I was invited to our church, and they had a boot camp. And a lady came in, and she had these patches in her hand. But when I tell you I suffered for 48 years with sciatic nerve damage, I don't know if any of you all know what that is, but it is very painful. I went in and they patched me, put the patch back on my lower back. And within 5 minutes, I was jumping and bending and moving. And I was so excited because I had never been without that pain within 48 years. The thing about it was I was taking ibuprofen, and the ibuprofen damaged my kidneys without me knowing it. My kidneys were at 29% when I started this patch. I went to the doctor for my yearly checkup. I think it was in February, and my kidney function went from 29 to 55%. My doctor was so impressed. But my biggest testimony is my husband, who is a diagnosed diabetic, and he had neuropathy. He had neuropathy in his right foot, and he couldn't walk. So from April to November, he was on a cane, just dragging his foot. Didn't go to church, didn't do anything. We just went back and forth to the doctor, back and forth, back and forth. I did all the driving. Well, when I got home with this patch, I came home and my daughter had got a pack of them. And I explained to him, first of all, he said, "What happened to you at church today?" Because I was so vibrant and just full of energy. And so I said, "Well, we got this patch and I would like to try it on you to see if it's going to help with your foot." So lo and behold, he said, "Okay." So I put the patch on him and I told him I'd be back in 15 minutes to check on him. So around 18 minutes, I called out to him. I said, "Babe, how's the patch doing?" Well, he didn't answer me. And I called out again. Well, by this time, I'm going to see where he was. I went and looked out the window and the truck was gone. He came back in about 20 minutes. And I said, "Where did you go?" He said, "I went down to the pond and got out and walked and had to give God glory for being pain-free. It had also healed the pain, taken the pain out of his lower back where he had surgery on L4, L5 in 2004. Now, these were things that happened immediately. And he was going to the doctor getting the vein treatment. He was wearing he had to go in where they would go in his veins and unclog them because the circulation wasn't working in his body. So his doctor is telling him now, your circulation is good. Your legs, the blood is flowing good through his legs. So he doesn't have to worry about going back getting those treatments again. Those treatments was very painful and excruciating. So he came in the house without the cane and he hasn't needed it since then, Verdita.
Wow, you're telling me that he was having it where this pain hit, all this pain in his foot. He was using his cane, could not walk without a cane for months. And after one application of the X39, he's not had to wear that cane, use that cane anymore.
He hasn't. The neuropathy never came back. And just like you said about Harvey, he has not snored since. The snoring went away. God did that for me. but yes, he has been pain-free. The neuropathy never came back. So
and
we're
Gwen,
just so
one more
thankful
thing, because of what this has done for you and your husband and even your daughter, who has a tremendous testimony, you have been just telling everybody you know about this patch, right?
Everywhere I go. Went in Lowe's the other day, the girl was complaining about her back. I patched her with the wedding planner for my granddaughter's wedding. She's trying to patch it. She said she's getting ready to call me so she can sign up. And the guy we just came from his house just now, patching him, he's signing up and he's having his first home meeting tomorrow. And I said, he said, "I need a nap today." And I said, "Why?" He said, "I was up all night researching and watching all these videos." He was telling us about David Smith and everybody. So people are out there and they're waiting for us. And I don't intend to miss any of them. I pray and I patch.
All right. Thank you so much, Gwen, for that awesome testimony and encouraging words. All right. So let me get back to the presentation. I hope y'all enjoy Gwen's testimony. You can see how this is changing people's lives. But I told you I had some visuals of people that had skin conditions that were unbearable, like this gentleman right here who has vitiligo, who had vitiligo. And there is no cure for vitiligo, but look at his skin. It is clear, completely clear after 1 year of wearing this X39. This woman has been wearing the X39 for 3 years, and she looks 20 years younger. No wrinkles around her mouth, no wrinkles around her neck or eyes or anything. But this is the kinds of things that the X39 is doing. But you can go to this site called thisisit.info.com. You will find the case studies and the patents. You also find testimonials and doctors' reviews. And when you click on testimonials, you see all these different kind of situations where people have had issues with the neuropathy, chemotherapy. I even met a lady that had versus eye improvement. She had a detached retina for 2 years, had 2 eye surgeries. They could not reattach her her retina. But after 2 days of wearing the X39, her retina reattached itself. So anything that you can think of is, if it's not on this page, somebody has experienced it, you guys. And this is why this patch is so amazing. So hopefully by now you can feel and understand how this patch can help you with your health, free from health issues if you're consistent on it. Now we want to talk about how you can be financially free. You see, LifeWave, if you love what you're hearing, and especially if you experience some kind of testimony yourself like Gwen did, you're not going to keep this to yourself. And what's going to happen, the company is going to compensate you for sharing with other people. That's all we do. We don't really sell, we just share. And these people purchase from the company, and the company rewards you very well. So this is a global business opportunity. We're now in over 75 countries. We are experiencing exponential growth. In 2021, the company reached its highest at that time, 20 million. And the company was about 17 years old then. And in 2022, the company exceeded 320 million, 430 in 2023. Last year, we exceeded 600 million. And this year, 2025, it's projected that we will become a $1 billion company. That is very rare. And how is all this growth possible? Because this is not a Me Too product. You won't find anything just like this X39. You will not find anything like it. Now, here's how the company is going to compensate you. I'm about to share that with you, but I do want you to know there are no promises or guarantees on regarding income. Your success or failure is based on your skills and your personal effort. Okay, so let's talk about that. This is how you're going to be able to get your whatever you want. For example, this form right here has a place for you to check off if you want to be a customer, or if you want to get a brand, you want to get a package. I'm going to elaborate on all of those. If you want to become a customer, you just let Romelda or Gwen or Betty or whoever invite you to this call, let them know that you want to get a package. Tell them what you want. And the core package is going to have 3, we call these sleeves. This envelope with 30 in it, we call it a sleeve. In the core package, you're going to get 3 sleeves for $295. That's about $99 per sleeve. The person who gets the advanced package is going to cost them $535, and they're getting 6 sleeves. In other words, they're getting $600 worth of inventory, and they're saving $65. The premium pack is for the serious entrepreneur. This package contains 20 sleeves. People that are like chiropractors, or you don't have to be a doctor or anybody like that to get that package. That's the package my husband and I got because we had a lot of people. We had a big vision for helping a lot of people. And so what we did was made sure we sent out as many patches as we could with that package. It's $17.50, but what it also did was allowed us to stay active in the company every month for 3 months in a row. And so there was just enough left over for me and him to have our own inventory for 3 months. You see, in order to receive a paycheck from the company, you're going to need to order at least 1 sleeve per month. This is going to allow you to keep all these points that I'm going to share with you in a moment. It's going to allow you to keep all those points, but it's only going to allow you to earn $100 per week. Whereas if you get 2 sleeves per month, and then you are getting, it's going to allow you to keep your points. You're going to get 2 sleeves for $200, but it's going to allow you to max out the comp plan. I'm going to show you how that works. So when you say that I want to be a customer, I just want to try a 30-day supply. You could either be a retail customer and pay $150, and the person, and you being the person that shared this with the person, the company's going to pay you $50 and 77 points. But if you decide you want to pay wholesale and still be a customer, you can do that as well. We call that a preferred customer. Not only will you get it at the wholesale price, the company is going to give you some sample patches in the mail every month. And then the person that enrolled you, if you're the person that enrolled that person, you're going to earn $20 every single month as long as this person continues to order, and you're going to get 43 points. But the second way we get paid is called our product introductory bonuses. So if a person purchases a core package from you, that's the one where you get the 3 sleeves, you're going to earn $35. If they get the advanced package, you're going to earn $75. And if they get the premium package, you're going to earn $405. Okay, that's the second way we get paid. Now, the third way we get paid is very exciting because it's not just based on your effort, it's based on the efforts of a lot of other people as they generated points in this structure that I'm about to share with you. You can go all the way to the top position in the company, which is senior presidential director, and start earning $25,000 up to, rather, not that's exactly what you're going to earn, but up to $25,000 per week. Now, here's the binary structure that I want to share with you. Say if this is you, and let's say you start sharing it with people. Let's say you share it with your cousin, you share it with your mom, you share it with your colleague, you share it with your church member. Now, you're just going to keep enrolling people, and these people here, as they enter, you're going to get paid, but you're also going to accumulate those points that I was telling you about. And then people above you will also generate points and sign people up, and they have to fall below the last person on either side of you. This is how you start earning money when other people enroll that you don't even know these people. But this is how you also will one day earn up to $25,000 per week. But we want to help you get to the manager position very quickly, which means you got 4 people, 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right that have gotten one of those packages. And when that happens, you become a manager, which qualifies you for the 4th way of pay, which is called our matching bonuses. Simply meaning, if you enrolled me in the business and I go out this week and earn $1,000 in the binary, you're going to get 25% of what I earn. The company does not take that from my earnings. The company gives you the 25% on top of mine. So if I earn 1,000, you will earn 250. And then the people that I enroll, they're going to fall on your second level. I may have enrolled 100 people, and you may have enrolled 100, but all those people will start duplicating, and you're going to get 20% on what those people earn in the binary. And the same thing on the 3rd level. So this is unlimited income potential because there is no limit on the people that you can share this with. And all of this information is detailed on this site called thisisitteam.com. There are videos as well as a breakdown of our compensation plan. And of course, we'll explain that for you as well. Now, we have these envelopes that, postcards that have on the benefits as well as the website that people can go to. So when you share these patches with people, you put them in these envelopes, and that allows you to have a professional presentation with everything they need to know about the patch. And then we have calls every single night of the week so that if you want to share an opportunity call with someone like the one we're on right now, this is a private call that you're on now, but these calls right here are team calls that are already scheduled, and all of that stuff is posted on the This Is It Team site. So you guys, now is the time to make your move. Hopefully you can see how not only can you have freedom with your health, but also with your health, with your wealth. So this is hope for your future, you guys. And we encourage you to get started with X39 as soon as you can. I want to thank Betty and Romelda for putting this call together. And we want you to get back with them and let them know if you have any questions or any package, how can you get what package you want. So I want to thank you all for joining the call. You all have a great evening. And this call has been recorded and we will make it available to you. Thank you.